Hey everybody, I'm Entropic. Today I'm going to be looking at Darksiders 2. If you've played Darksiders 1, then you know that this game is kind of like an action-adventure RPG, kind of a combination of lots of different games. The way I would describe it, and I've actually heard other people describe it this way, is that it's kind of like a grown-up Zelda game. It's more focused around combat and everything, but the puzzle elements and everything are still there. The original actually borrowed from a lot of different separate games and just kind of like made itself like its own unique game because it combined actually all of these aspects that you've seen in lots of different other games. And really, I was a big fan of the first one. I didn't actually get to finish it. I got very close, but I had the game rented, so I didn't actually have time to finish it, so I don't actually know, how the game ended. And I actually don't remember that much from the first one, but I remember that I really liked it, and I've actually noticed a few differences between this one and the old one. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let you guys watch this.
No life without order. Good, evil, darkness, light. There must be balance in the universe. Such is the decree of the Charred Council, an ancient body charged by the Creator to preserve the very fabric of existence. But the balance has been broken. Even now, Earth smolders in ruin, fallen to the demon lords, and the Destroyer carves a new kingdom amongst his mighty chosen. Some say the Horseman War triggered the apocalypse, that he rode to Earth unbidden and doomed all of mankind. But what of the other horsemen, fearless enforcers of the Council's will? What of fury, strife, and death? To know those names, you must first know another. Nephilim, cursed union of angel and demon. The Nephilim had countless realms to the sword and burned them to ash. But four amongst them grew weary of the slaughter and feared their conquest would imperil the balance. And so a truce was made. The four would serve the Council in exchange for unimaginable power. Thus were the dreaded horsemen formed, and the riders' first task was to purge their own brethren from creation, to annihilate the Nephilim and destroy their souls. Let us now cast our gaze to one amongst the four, not War, who lies chained at the Council's feet, professing his innocence, but one who would save his brother above all else. He has many names: Kinslayer, Executioner, Death. To bargain for War's freedom, Death swore that he would resurrect humanity. But he knew not how this might be done. And so Death rode forth into the icy veil to find the Keeper of Secrets.
So yeah, basically what we got from that cutscene and everything was that we are playing as the Horseman Death, unlike from the first game where we were playing as the Horseman War. Instead, we're playing as Death this time, trying to free his brother from the Dark Council, or not the Dark Council. I don't even remember what they were called. But anyway, we're trying to prove his innocence. In order to do that, we must resurrect mankind, as War had triggered the apocalypse. When it wasn't supposed to have happened. So basically what we're just trying to do is free him and prove his innocence. Now you'll notice that I am riding a horse. It controls actually remarkably similar to Epona from the Zelda games, which I think is really interesting. And in the first game, you would actually, have to do a lot in order to get your horse back. Now I'm going to start talking about the combat. It's actually really interesting combat. At this moment, all we have is one weapon, our hand scythes. But we can still do lots of different moves based upon the timing of how we press the X button. Later on, we will get other weapons. In fact, in just a few minutes, you'll actually get to see different weapons that you can customize and everything, and kind of change your combos up. You'll also notice that I picked the difficulty Apocalyptic, which is apparently this game's hard mode. And the only reason I did that is because I'm only going to be showing you the first few minutes of this game, so we're not going to be fighting any real difficult enemies, and it actually should make the game, I feel like, a little bit more interesting for you guys. Now we kind of enter the first obstacle, and we find out that we can actually run across walls by, like, clawing into it and kind of running across it. And in this way, it's kind of like Prince of Persia or Assassin's Creed, or however you want to look at it, and it's got kind of the free running aspects to it, which I also think is really interesting and is actually a lot of fun. Now it's asking us to, of course, traverse these wooden beams, and if you try and rush through this, you can actually make some really easy mistakes because it seems like the inputs are a little slow, unfortunately. So, yeah, we managed to pass that without any real problems, of course. This is basically the tutorial section, so all the enemies and everything, as well as the puzzles, are going to be, really simple. But unlike the first game, there is no block feature. Instead, it's focused around dodging and, getting your combos going. Which is actually kind of neat, not having a block function. Because, everyone and their mothers has an RPG where you just block attacks whenever guys attack you. And in this, you actually have to dodge and time your dodges accordingly. Otherwise, you're going to get hit, obviously. But one thing interesting with the dodging is that you can actually continue your combos after you dodge. So if you time everything right, you can actually keep dodging and do everything really fluidly. I'm by no means a master at that. I actually haven't beaten this game yet. I'm maybe a quarter of the way through it. I think I've done like 3 or 4 temples. And honestly, the game just gets more and more interesting as it keeps adding in more and more mechanics for both puzzles and combat. So yeah, now we're just trying to finish off these guys. I believe that we've actually picked up another weapon. So I'm actually going to equip that now. Oops, wrong button. And I'll actually bring up the inventory screen so you guys can kind of see it. I actually have the game on auto loot, which if you're first getting the game, you will have to change that because it's not default. And my favorite offhand is actually the hammer. You can use an axe. It has a different moveset. It's actually also a really interesting weapon. As you go through the game, you also level up, and you get these talent trees. As far as I know, there are only 2 talent trees. One is kind of focused on combat, and one is focused on summoning creatures to help you. And I haven't actually tried the summoning, but the combat is actually really cool. You get like a teleport move and everything, and like I said, I haven't gotten real far into the game, but that's basically what I've seen. There's also, different equipment that you can equip, such as armor and such, which is a big change from the first game because I don't believe that had that. I could be wrong because I haven't played that game in a long time. But now that we actually have a hammer equipped, it will actually let us change up our combos quite a bit. And this guy, the Keeper of Secrets, is actually the guy we're after, who we keep saying. I think they also call him like the Crow Lord or something like that, King of Crows, something like that. I am by no means an expert on the lore. I'm just kind of giving my first impressions of the game, since I actually haven't gotten that far, but I have been having a blast playing this game. Now here, we actually have our first boss. Now this guy, being the first boss, is obviously really easy, and the main thing is just every now and then you've got to dodge his attacks. But as you can see, my combos have kind of changed because I can actually hit another button to pull out the hammer and do combos with that. But my main concern here is not doing damage, but actually not taking damage. as is kind of the case with all the bosses, as far as I've seen, is just not focusing on dealing the damage, but instead on taking as little damage as possible. And now every time you beat a boss, you kind of go into this Reaper mode and do an awesome cinematic type thing where you just destroy him. And you actually get that mode later on. Unfortunately, I will not be able to show you guys that, but it's actually called Reaper mode, and it's basically you get a bar that charges the more that you reap souls, the more that you kill guys. And then you can enter this Reaper mode and basically just own everything. It's kind of like a panic button when you're like in danger and stuff. It's just, I think it's a really cool concept. It's obviously been done before. It's by no means original, but it's still neat. And I'm sorry, but I have phones going off here. Now our elevator has broken down, so now we actually have to do some, creative climbing with everything. And here we actually see another concept, which is running up walls, which is also another interesting concept. That's really the only time I've seen it in the game, though. I haven't seen it implemented anywhere else but the tutorials, so I'm obviously not very far into the game. But yeah, this guy is trying to knock us off of this mountain. But, of course, that's not going to stop us, because we're freaking horsemen death. But I actually really like the, I don't know what you would call it, like free running or platforming. It doesn't really seem like platforming, but I really like just the way that it's implemented into this game. It really makes you feel like you're really, traversing that. Because you actually have to work for it. It doesn't do it automatically for you. You have to figure out where you're supposed to go, where there's strong footing. I just really like the way it's done. Oh yeah, one thing that I also didn't mention is that you can knock guys into the air and do air combos. I'm not actually sure how effective it is compared to ground combos, but it's also just a little neat thing that they added in there. I don't use it very much, to be honest, but it might be more effective than I realize. And now there's more of this free running kind of thing. Luckily I've done this before, so I know where to go. I'm not looking around for where I need to go. But the first time I was like, I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do here. And that's kind of the fun of it, is that you need to figure out exactly where you're supposed to run. Otherwise you can easily, jump off a cliff. Which has happened to me many times. And I believe that we go up here. We try and get to this plank over here. Should be able to wall run. And then jump up here. And jump across. Almost didn't make it. And honestly, just overall, this entire game is just really epic. Just the music, the way the fighting goes, the storyline, just everything about it, I feel like, is just really good. And oh, okay, I'm going to be quiet yet again, because there is another cutscene.
Voices, always voices, torment without end.
Keeper of secrets, I need your help.
I helped you once before, horseman. Look at me now. How I cursed that day. How I curse you.
Careful, Crowfather. I'm not here to put you out of your misery. Not yet.
I know why you've come. Your brother, the one called War, he's been imprisoned by the Charred Council and awaits their judgment for dooming the Earth, for mankind's extinction. Why should I care about your brother's fate?
Because you know the truth. Your secrets can save him.
The Council will condemn War. Strip him of power, let him rot in oblivion, to hide the truth. My secrets cannot prove his innocence, horseman.
No, but they can help me to erase the crime.
Bring mankind back from extinction. Madness.
If it's madness, then who better to show me the way?
Should a way exist, you will find it here.
The Tree of Life. Let me pass.
Not yet. That which you gave me, you will take it back.
In exchange for its secrets, you agreed to keep the amulet.
No. The voices, they curse and threaten without end. They cry to return. You must destroy it!
I cannot.
You annihilated their flesh. Why do you guard their souls?
Open the portal.
You will not pass while I live.
So be it.
Here your brethren are trapped in eternal torment. Do you wish to join them? And what of war? Would you kill your brother to save your precious balance?
He is innocent.
Are you so certain?
So now we are fighting the Crow Father, who has disguised himself and taken the form of War, the protagonist of the original, your brother, the guy who you're trying to prove is innocent. Now the trick to this guy is that every few attacks, he will block you and try and counterattack with a huge explosion. But that is easily overcome by a well-timed dodge. I've not been doing the best job of timing my dodges here. In fact, I've been taking a lot of the hits to the face, which is what you don't want to happen. But then we do get a cutscene here when he gets down to about half health, and we just have to mash X. And then we should put him in his place pretty well. And we of course go back to fighting. Oh, yikes. Yeah, well, we just have to slowly whittle down his health. Oh, yikes. I always forget about that slice, and like, how much freaking poise this guy has. Oh, yikes. That was bad. Another thing that I haven't mentioned is the potion system in this. I just used one. You actually accumulate potions as you go through dungeons and everything. And you can use them whenever you want by simply hitting left on the D-pad. But as you can see, I have defeated War pretty handedly. Which should, because he's a very beginner's boss.
Die with you, old fool.
My secrets, but not yours.
So anyway, guys, that's my first look at Darksiders 2, my Let's Look At. It's definitely a game that I would consider doing a Let's Play of if there, is interest, because I'm sure everyone and their moms is playing this game right now, but it's really up to you guys to decide if you want to see me Let's Play it. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.